Hey everybody, Joe Cortez and James Burns of FrontRowPreps.com, powered by Chicken Ranch Casino and Golden Bear Physical Therapy. Time now for our large and small school rankings presented by Valley Orthopedic, the bone and joint specialist, and don't I know it? Let's start with our large school rankings, Burnsy. We have a new number one we have new co-number ones, kind of a new number one. Buhat Colony stays, Turlock jumps up and joins them at the top spot. We couldn't decide, although Tracy coach Matt Trout, he could.
Yeah, you had a chance to talk with Matt Trout after the game. After his Bulldogs were beaten by the Turlock Bulldogs 43-14, pretty decisively in that game. Anthony Frias touched the ball just 9 times, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, finished his day with a sack. Fantastic effort by him and his teammates. And that victory was enough to compel us to move him up, or move his team up to number one and share that space with a former CCC opponent, Buhat Colony.
Shroud said, Buhat Colony is a very good team, but he sees a path to where he could beat the Thunder. When he's talking about Turlock, he says, no. They're good. They're different level good. Number 3, we've got Oakdale, went on the road to beat Aptos, but it was tough.
Yeah, that game was close, settled by less than a score. Oakdale was up in that game 14-3 in the third quarter. Had some troubles putting it away, but still to go out of section, I thought that was a pretty key win for the Mustangs. By all accounts, this is still a team that should be a contender in the VOL. And we know if they're a contender in the VOL, they should obviously be in the mix for a section title. We like Oakdale at number 3.
Number 4, Downey, coming off impressive wins against your alma mater, Manteca, my alma mater, Merced. We moved them up into the top 5.
Yeah, the Knights have been impressive. Bryce Gowker has been everything we thought he would be. The best quarterback in the region so far. He's got multiple weapons on the outside, and the beautiful part about Downey's offense is they got the balance now with Robert Rivera. They've earned their way up to number 4. Like you said, they've gone through Manteca, who we had ranked I think at number 3 to start the season. They have Merced, who's on the back half of our top 10. Those are impressive wins for the Downey Knights. They are worthy of that number 4.
And number 5, your Manteca Buffaloes.
Yeah, coming off a win against Granada in Livermore. Again, another victory outside the section.
Tough to do.
Tough to do, yeah. I mean, it was they rolled up Granada 50-0.
But still, going on the road, long road trips like that, never easy.
Yeah. Jacob DeJesus has been phenomenal. Trayvon Russell has been phenomenal. He didn't play much in the first game against Lathrop. They didn't need him since he's been a full go. He's been special for him. And then Ryan Ward has been pretty efficient.
Three-headed monster.
As long as that three-headed monster stays intact, they're going to be a tough out. And Central Catholic, which isn't in our top 5.
They're 0-3. They're staring at 0-4.
They're staring at 0-4, but they've got Manteca to start VOL, so they could be potentially 0-5.
Potentially 0-5.
That's crazy.
We were looking at 4-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
Moving over to the small school rankings now. Escalon remains our number 1 team. They've been impressive all year.
Yeah, Escalon has done what they've had to do to get to this point. What's interesting here is that 1 plays 4 this Friday in our game of the week. And that's going to be a huge test for Escalon. Okay, this will be their first test of the season. They played Calaveras, and Calaveras is a top 10 team in our small school poll, but they will not see an opponent like Downey with the type of athletes they have. It's going to be a huge test for Escalon. And if Escalon stumbles, look here, there are teams chomping at the bit to get to that number 1 spot. Ripon being one of them. Ripon goes up to Calaveras this week. If they can stack a good win there, coupled with possibly an Escalon loss to Downey, we could be staring at a new number 1 next week for the small schools.
Who do you like in this game? You know what? Don't say it. Don't give it away.
Okay.
Visit FrontRowPreps.com for all our predictions. Number 2, Ripon. Number 3, Hillmar. I'm sensing you used your pin. I'm going to use my pin. I'm sensing a trend here. Look at that TVL.
Yeah.
Always the toughest league, small school league in the state.
Yes. We just talked about Ripon. Hillmar's they've had a bit of a soft schedule to start the season, but maybe that's by design. They're breaking in a lot of new talent. They've got a lot of guys coming up from that JV level.
And it's fortunate because they didn't get quarterback Trevin Crowley back.
They didn't get him back. But even if you look at their state run last year, Trevin Crowley wasn't the entrenched starter until TVL season. And when you don't have that kind of mileage on your legs and you haven't taken those kind of hits and you don't have that tape for people to look at, maybe that is to your advantage. Maybe there's a little bit of thought there from Frank and his,
Frank Marcus,
but
the old master.
They're number 3, and until they lose, until anybody's able to break up this big 3, I think this is pretty solid.
This is pretty solid.
Amador is emerging as the best team in the Mother Lode League. A lot of returning talent, JV team that was decorated. They've taken care of business to this point, and they should move to 3-0 against, I believe they have Union Mine this week. And then we have RC, who we believe is the best team in the Southern League. Beat Somerville last week. Sean McGovern is one of those do-it-all types, kind of like Jacob DeJesus. Can score on the run, through the air, punt returns. Defensively, he can return it back. Sean McGovern might be one of the best players
All around
regardless of large and small school.
Yeah, he's a football player, as they like to say.
Heck of a football player.
So that's it for our large and small school rankings, brought to you by Valley Orthopedic. And for the rest of our top 10, be sure to visit frontrowpreps.com, powered by Chicken Ranch Casino and
Golden Bear Physical Therapy.
for James Burns, I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for stopping by.